I'm just going to throw this out there, and I want everyone to just say in or out, yeah? Lampard in or out? Gem.
In.
David.
In.
Bree.
In for now.
Daniel.
In.
Prime.
I think he should go at the end of the season.
Oh wow.
Okay.
But that's based on my personal expectations I set out before he came in, and I think he's met them. So, yeah.
Okay, lay out your personal expectations. Let's see. Let's go.
Get this, whatever money and players he's given, get the team to a point where we can go on and challenge and win the Premier League and or the Champions League. I think by the end of the season, he should have done that at least.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's good enough to win those trophies personally right now because he's inexperienced and he's going to make so many mistakes as he has been doing.
Yeah. So. But assuming he leaves at the end of the season, who are you having in?
Julian Naglesmann.
So from one person who's barely won of anything.
He's the only exciting manager that I rate out there at the moment.
But he hasn't won anything.
What's his experience as a manager? What's his experience as a manager? Is it any better than Lampard?
Yeah. No. It's not. He hasn't done it for much longer than Lampard, but you could argue he's doing it at far higher quality than.
So then we haven't actually.
He hasn't won.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but he's in Germany. Like, there's always a context to everything.
No.
Come on. The guys at Leipzig
already.
The guys at Leipzig.
I'm not hearing that.
Here's the thing about Frank. I think because he came in with a 3-year project. I think next season is where he'll either get the full season or be sacked. So I'm looking at Naglesmann for 2 seasons' time, not necessarily come in next season.
Okay.
So that's why I'm thinking Naglesmann.
Yeah, that's fair.
But assuming like Lampard leaves at the end of this season, you're having Naglesmann in, no?
I think he's the only one that excites me right now, but
I know. Let's get rid of Frank Lampard, who has exactly the same level in terms of what they've won. They've won nothing, and probably experience as well. And just bring in a manager
who's just about won nothing.
Give us exciting football. But what is it actually you want?
I know, but
like, it doesn't make
why
sense.
I was thinking Naglesmann for 2 seasons. I wouldn't sack Frank or get rid of him at the end of this season. No, not unless it's abysmally bad, which. I don't know. Some people could argue that.
I get the premise here of sacking Lampard for a more experienced manager, if that's your opinion, innit? However, you can't tell me you want to sack Lampard to bring in a manager who's going to win us trophies when the manager you want to bring in hasn't won trophies. Like, fair enough, he has his system. It clearly works. It works well for Leipzig and all of that. But I think your premise is kind of half-hearted. Like it's there, but not there.
I didn't say experience for an experienced manager though.
He just wants
a different manager.
He just wants Nagelsmann. That's what he wants.
No. I don't think Frank is the guy to win those big trophies with. I think Nagelsmann is the manager, or
he's come the closest to.
Yeah,
but my question,
Poch, but we've seen Poch in those positions, and he hasn't been able to.
My question to that is: when Jose Mourinho was at Porto and he was young and he hadn't won anything, did you expect him to go and win a Champions League with Porto?
No.
So my point is.
It's the same issue as Lampard. How old was I when that happened? I didn't have any football knowledge back then.
Yeah, no, to be fair,
I don't have it right now.
But what I'm saying is, at that point in Mourinho's stage of his career, he was probably the same as probably where Frank Lampard and Naglesmann are in terms of didn't really have much experience. He'd worked with managers on the side, but he wasn't an actual manager until he went to Porto.
I know what you're saying, Graham. I don't know. Go on, Prime.
Sorry. However, Jose back then was still a hot commodity in Europe, highly talented. It's comparable with Nagelsmann, not with Frank.
Yeah. It's not the same thing because obviously Mourinho was at Barcelona as well. Worked under.
Yeah, that's not what I was trying to get at.
I mean, what's it? Not many people know this about Nagelsmann. There's this thing in Germany called the Spielverlagerung. It's very long. It's very complicated. Nobody needs to know what it is. Basically, he went online. And he managed to break down Thomas Tuchel's tactics. And then he ended up becoming like his assistant manager. He did a little bit of bit part work. Then he ended up at Hoffenheim, and he took Hoffenheim from 17th, who were like 7 points away from safety, to Champions League football in like 2 years. He made people like Mark Uth. No one ever heard of Mark Uth. He made him look good. He made Joe Linton look good. He made Joe Linton look like genuinely. The reason why Newcastle bought Joe Linton for 40 mil, Nagelsmann. He then went to Leipzig, and I think he's doing really well at Leipzig. I think the thing with Nagelsmann and Lampard is good. Could Nagelsmann do a better job? Yes, but is it worth getting rid of Lampard for? That's what you've got to weigh up.
Yeah, and I just think Nagelsmann is literally a direct representation of Poch, because you're saying we've seen Poch in them situations, but at the end of the day, Nagelsmann has been close to winning the Bundesliga. Poch has been close to winning the Premier League with Tottenham.
True.
Nagelsmann has been close to winning the domestic trophies. Poch has been close, been to semi-finals. We knocked them out, 5-3 in the FA Cup. Yes. Nagelsmann has been to a semi-finals in the Champions League. Poch has been to a final. So it's a direct representation. You can't tell me Nagelsmann has done more for Leipzig than Poch has done for Tottenham. When there's stepping stones. Poch had the Southampton team. He made that Southampton team look so much better. And then got his move to Tottenham. So it's all about perspective, really.
Yeah, but when you actually look into Poch at Spurs, which I have, it's ridiculous. There's a stat where over the course of 2 seasons he accumulated enough points where he was mathematically the best team in the league. In each
did he win though?
Seasons, he won the league.
You sound like them Liverpool ESPN stats.
It's ridiculous how
if some
he got so close and wasn't able to cross the line. Look at Sarri at Juve with the squad that he had. Never mind, he doesn't have the spending power and the might of Juventus. He was able to push them to the title every season. Come to Chelsea, and you may not like him, but he did win us the Europa League and finished 3rd in the league.
Yeah, but Frank Lampard was given last year a squad without Eden Hazard and a load of youngsters. So what? Cool. I don't get your argument there with him.
Cool. And I'm not saying we should get rid of Lampard this season. I do want to see how things play out, because I actually could be wrong about Frank. And a part of me does think I am wrong. Yeah, so that's why I let him play out his project.
Yeah, I agree. You've got to give him the season. Still, you can ask me this 10 games later, and I'll probably still say the same thing. You got to just give him the chance, man.
Yeah.
Really quickly, Christopher Segura says Nagelsmann got top 3 and semi-finals in the Champions League with RB Leipzig. He got the best out of Werner, and most likely will do the same with Havertz. It isn't a bad shout. He's been a good manager since 2013. I mean, when you look at it from that perspective about him getting the best out of Werner, isn't that what we want to see as Chelsea fans? So posing a question of Nagelsmann coming in and replacing Frank Lampard and then asking if it's worth it, I think that alone could potentially be worth the replacement at the end of the season.
Nagelsmann is more tactically astute than Frank is. You can say they have similar experience, and if that's the case, then based on their similar experience, Nagelsmann is a better manager.
Yeah, but Lampard's had Werner for how many games? 6?
We haven't even played the system yet.
It's a silly. You can't say anything about it yet.
No, but we haven't had the players in the the thing is, right? I know we haven't scored a goal in the past games. We're going to talk about that. I am not worried about us not scoring goals, because that wasn't the problem last year.
No,
I'm not worried about that. So I know that last year we managed to create the second most chances with an attack of Mount, Pulisic, Willian, and Tammy. All right, we've now upgraded that to Pulisic, Havertz, Werner, and Ziyech. So we are going to create chances. We are going to create chances.
Yeah,
I mean, I agree. Coming from these last couple of games, how many chances did we create with these exact players on the pitch?
Cool. My point to that, though, is that I think in terms of the Sevilla game, it's a quick breakdown of it. I think people thought Sevilla were a rollover. No, Bayern Munich didn't beat Sevilla in 90 minutes. They went to extra time, and Bayern Munich are probably the best team in Europe right now. Sevilla are a very, very good team who have been together for a very, very long time under a very, very good manager who, JULIAN,
Lopetegui.
Whatever his name is. Obviously, he had the Real Madrid job, but that didn't go well for him. He's someone that needed this Sevilla type job to kind of save his career. So Sevilla are a good team, and in my opinion, I think what we showed is defensive resilience, something that we've not seen our team do in the last 2 years, maybe a year and a half or so. So, and then going into the United game, it's the flip side of the coin. Whatever side of the coin you fall on, yeah, you want to go with that. But I want to be on the other side where I saw Lampard go into a game and say, I don't want to concede. And we didn't concede, which means that we can actually do that. We can go into a game and say we don't want to concede. And I think you have to give him credit for that. Of course, we wanted to see our team attack. We wanted to see it flourish and all of that kind of stuff. But little steps, just like we said, chances aren't going to be a problem. But we've got to give Lampard the benefit of the doubt and allow him to try and create building blocks. Like everyone who asked me about the United game and said, what are your thoughts on the United game? I always said my response to it was, ask me in 5 games. Let me see what we've done, because the next 5 games are all winnable games. Like we said, obviously football don't work like that, but winnable games. Let's see what happens. If we go on a 5-game winning streak, the United game looks like a great point. Do you get what I'm saying? So...
Fair enough. Just really quickly, let me just read out this super chat really quickly. Christopher Segura says, thanks for the sleeping chat again, by the way. Also realize if Naglesmann comes to Chelsea, usually he brings 1 to 2 players from their former team. Upamecano,
yeah.
His name, Upamecano. What's he? The centre back, innit? The world class guy. I mean, not a bad shout, but Jem, you were gonna say something?